Hey everybody, how you doing? Mikey's back. Homemade dip review, flavoring experiment, mint, take 2. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to like and subscribe. Drop in some comments if you want. I read all the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. Anyway, go back some of my videos. I tried to make my own homemade dip. It turned out not too bad. I used roll your own pipe tobacco. Um, I was mainly going to get the process down before I drop money on some quality dark fire leaf and do that. I've been playing with experimenting with flavors, and this is my second attempt at mint. The first attempt was a pretty weak mint. It wasn't real flavorful. And so this one here, first time I tried just the mint extract you get at the grocery store. I tried that. Wasn't real minty. Had some mint flavor, but just wasn't enough. I got some full-blown peppermint oil. I added 3 drops of peppermint oil, and I added some liquid Splenda sweetener to this. And we'll see what the results are. So anyway, get this packed down a little bit. This dip is quite moist. The cut's kind of all over the place. Kind of, all over the place. I'm using an old Husky mint can. Now I got fine bits, I got big bits. It's bitsy bits and bits and bits. What I did was when I dried the tobacco, I used my hand to kind of crush it up into dip-sized pieces. I didn't use a blender or a chopper or anything like that. If I get some more quality tobacco, I will go that route. But this was already ribbon cut, roll your own. And after I dried it out, I just used my hand. It smells pepperminty. More so than the first attempt. Not bad. Let's see. And I give you an idea there. That's what homemade dip looks like. Not very consistent with the cut, of course, but hey, it was a homemade shot. So now this stuff is pretty darn moist. Next time I make some, I might cut back on the water just a touch. But it does pinch pretty well. More minty than the first time. Definitely. First impression in the mouth. I'm feeling the minty burn. Not real bad. Sweetness level. Yeah, using that liquid sweetener instead of the powdered stuff I was using. Mm-hmm. You don't really have to worry about juicing up a whole lot. Moisture content. But first impressions on the mouth, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I got the mintiness in there. It's got a little bit of sweetness in there. I'm definitely feeling a tingly, burny in there, but it's not bad. Just enough to let me know that it's there, working its magic. Definitely has some sweetness to it. Not as sweet as Stoker's mint, but the mint flavor, the mint flavor is up there with Stoker's in Copenhagen. I added 3 drops of peppermint oil to this can. Probably could have got away with 2, but I did 3 because I'm reckless. Yeah. Holds together fairly well. And so the cut's kind of all over the place with this stuff. So, but yeah, this turned out pretty darn good. It's sweet enough to where it's dancing with the mint flavor. Pretty good. Wow. Second time's a charm. If I had to do this again, I'd probably do 2.5 drops of peppermint oil. Actually, no, the 3 drops is pretty darn good too. It's got a nice strong peppermint, but the sweetness is counterbalancing any of the harshness from the mint. Not getting much at all of the tobacco flavor. The mint is taking over the world. Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say it's somewhere between Stoker's and Copenhagen flavor wise, which isn't bad because I like them both. Stoker's is my favorite mint. Copenhagen is right behind it. Husky mint is pretty darn good too. This, yeah, I'm going to have to remember this. 3 drops of peppermint oil and about a 1-second squirt of liquid Splenda. Much better than the first time. The first time it smelled good. It had a minty aroma to it, but the mint flavor was just flat. There wasn't much there. Using the straight peppermint oil, that did the trick. So make sure you use food grade peppermint oil, preferably American if you can find it. There's a lot of stuff on Amazon. Most of it's Chinese. Sadly, but true. Stuff I got here was actually said on the bottle, Pacific Northwest peppermint oil. So it came from Oregon, Washington area. I do know there's a few farms that specialize in mints and herbs and stuff like that. There's a couple here in Oregon, and I know there's several up in Washington State. So probably came from any one of them. But yeah, dang. I'm having no problem finishing this can now. That first can, yeah, I tried it twice, tossed it, tried again. We have a winner, folks. We have a winner in the Old Husky Mint can. This is nice. Not too sweet. Nice strong mint. It's like a notch or two down from Stoker's on the sweetness and mintiness scale. Somewhere between Stoker's and Copenhagen. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like Stoker's and Copenhagen had a baby. And it's in my garage. But yeah. Yeah, probably sometime January, February, I'm going to order some leaf. There's a couple of websites that you can buy whole leaf tobacco from. I'm going to buy some Darkfire. I want to do it that way. I did have a wild hair, thinking if I do the roll your own stuff, I might try a second batch just to make sure I got it dialed in before I buy the leaves. The second batch, I'm thinking about taking the roll your own stuff, putting on a sheet, and throwing it in my smoker for about 10 or 20 minutes. And smoke it that way, see if I can impart some smokiness into that tobacco. So when I process it, I can have some smoky back notes in there as well. But yeah, this as it is. This stuff plain it's okay, but it had a nice natural tobacco flavor, but it was missing those smoky notes that you get in regular natural dips. There was no smoky note whatsoever. Just straight plain tobacco, a little bit of salt. That was what I getting when I had it straight up. I do have some wintergreen brewing downstairs. I tried the wintergreen too. The wintergreen came out flat the first time. I used wintergreen oil. It had the aroma, but it was just very flat on the flavor. So I bought some actual wintergreen flavoring, and I added a few drops of that and some liquid sweetener. And I'm really curious to see what that did. The oil gave it the aroma. I'm hoping this flavoring and that little bit of sweetness bring it up to where it actually has a nice wintergreen flavor. I'll be reviewing that one probably in the next couple of days. I also have some vanilla down there I've been working on. My first attempt at vanilla was, I could taste some of the vanilla, but it left a lingering bitterness in the background. So The second batch here, I'm using the vanilla, and I added some liquid sweetener a little bit more to try to offset that bitterness that you get from both the tobacco and the vanilla. Because unsweetened vanilla extract has, if you try the stuff straight, it does have a bitter undertone. That's why when you use it for baking, you usually add it in something sweet. The sweet complements it and really draws out that vanilla flavor. I also got some root beer flavoring. I bought a flavoring kit. It's meant for flavoring candies. And it came with like 10 different flavorings. Had vanilla, banana, there's a number of fruit flavors, and I had a root beer. And I got some can of that brewing too. It doesn't smell like much. There's a faint whiff of root beer candy. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'll be trying that in the next few days too. But I've been shaking those up, you know, giving them a sniff every couple of days, trying to let the flavor develop and mingle a little bit more. But this stuff, yeah, scored a winner. Flavor's tapering off a little bit now. The initial flavor, it had a nice burn to it. But now it's just settled down. It's just a nice steady mint, nothing real strong. And I'm getting some subtle sweetness still. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And this stuff does have a little bit of a nicotine kick. Next batch I make, I'm going to cut down on the sodium carbonate a little bit to make it more in my nicotine level. Right now I am feeling the nicotine from this stuff. I made it, came out a little on the strong side. So if you like stronger nicotine, you can add more sodium carbonate, bring that nicotine level up. You can add less sodium carbonate to keep the nicotine levels down. It's kind of a personal preference thing when you're making your own dip. I tried to shoot for middle of the road, and it came out a little bit on the strong side. So I'll use like a gram or two less sodium carbonate on my next batch. And that should be right in my wheelhouse. But anyway, yeah. Homemade mint experiment number 2 is a success. I'm liking this. It turned out really well. Good flavor, hint of sweetness. And the flavor is still lingering. I'm still getting the mint. I'm not sure how long it'll last, but I'm willing to bet it'll last a good 20-25 minutes the way it's going, which is fine for me. Anyway, this has been Mint Homegrown Experiment number 2. Success. Yes. At least I don't have to try 15 times to get it right. I just kind of got it dialed in now. That peppermint oil was the thing. You have to use actual peppermint oil, not peppermint extract. Anyway, this has been Mikey. This has been my review of my homemade dip, peppermint flavor. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I'm trying all kinds of dips. I'm a relatively new dipper. I've only been doing this for going on 3 months now. And I'm kind of in the exploration phase of dips and chews. So I'm trying to get my hands on anything I can that's new, I haven't tried before, and I'll be sure to turn the camera on whenever I try it for your pleasure and amusement. Anyway, catch you all later. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.